We're going to try and film with the dog. We're going to see how this goes.
I like to read. You like to read. We like to read together.
Well, hey there, reader friends. I'm Erica, and welcome to my channel. And this is my somewhat belated TBR for August. Sorry it's so late, guys. It's been a really crazy week for me work-wise. I'm going to go ahead and get started with my nonfiction selections for the month. I always try to read a little bit of each genre. My first nonfiction selection for the month of August is The Firebrand and the First Lady by Patricia Bell Scott. Don't lick the library book. That's not good manners. It's about Eleanor Roosevelt and Polly Murray. I watched the Ken Burns documentary on the Roosevelts a while ago, and I thought that this relationship was really interesting, so I'm excited to read more about it. Also, Eleanor Roosevelt was an amazing woman, and her legacy is so important, so I'm pretty excited. The dog has found her squeaky toy. My second nonfiction selection for the month is a book called Who Thought This Was a Good Idea and Other Questions You Should Have Answers to While Working in the White House by Alyssa Mastromonaco? I'll need to research how to say her name. I'm reading a Kindle version of this book. It's all about this lady, Alyssa Mastromonaco, who worked in the White House during Obama's tenure there. So I'm pretty excited to read and learn some more about how the White House works and what you do when things don't quite go right. Moving on to my fiction selections for the month. Another Kindle book I'm going to be reading this month is Shoot Down the Wendy Bird by Julie over at Pages and Pens. And I just realized I have no idea what her last name is off the top of my head, and I didn't write it down. So right now her last name's going to be of Pages and Pens. But I'm pretty excited to read this book. It's a collection of short stories, which is really cool. I like short stories a lot. Last month read The Fellowship of the Ring, so I'm going to finish. I'm going to read The Two Towers and The Return of the King. I'm not happy that they're not the same edition, but that's what it's like when you check out books from the library. I really liked The Fellowship of the Ring. I really liked Tolkien's language. I loved his world building and the characters. Now that we're in the middle of the adventure, I feel like the pacing problems I had with Fellowship won't continue, and I'll be able to just really fall into this world even deeper and really enjoy these books. The next fiction book I'm going to read is a romance and the final book in a series. I'm going to be reading The Summer Garden by Paulina Simons. This is the third book in her Tatiana and Alexander series. It's a pretty good romance series, especially if you like that dramatic, historical, epic romance full of angst and melodrama. I want to read all of that. This has been on my TBR so long, and I haven't gotten to it, and I've been so sad. I feel like I've checked it out so many times from the library and never finished. This month it's going to happen. I have to finish. I'm not going to give a summary because I feel if I give any sort of summary, it's huge spoilers for the earlier two books. If you want more, you can look it up on Amazon Goodreads. There are summaries there. Another historical fiction book I'm going to be reading is Purge by Sophie Oksanen. I was going to read this for International Buddy-a-thon last month, but didn't get to it. My friend from Finland, Taro, recommended this book. I've started it and I've been enjoying it so far. The poetic prose in this is just so beautiful, and I think I'm gonna keep enjoying it. Next I have The Red Tent by Anita Diamond. I don't know if you're aware, but there's a Lifetime mini-series of this book, which I am such trash for. I watch it all the time, except I don't like that it's very whitewashed. That's very problematic. I love alternative histories. This follows the story of the only daughter of Jacob, who in the Old Testament, in the Bible, it's got all kinds of religious backstory to it, which I won't go into here. It follows his only daughter, Dinah, and her life, which is not the happiest of lives. I've found quotes online, and there are so many amazing quotes in it that are about womanhood and what it means to be part of a womanhood, and also when you live in like a patriarchal system, the ramifications of that, and just inner strength. I have a feeling that with my religious background, like I was raised Christian, and I am a Christian, I'll probably have a lot of other things I think about it, so I'll let you know what I think. I'm pretty excited. Continuing on the historical fiction kick, I'm also going to be reading The Pearl Thief by Elizabeth Wein. I used to know how to say her name. I'm going to say Vine. Elizabeth Vine. If I'm wrong, let me know. I'll correct it later. This is a prequel to her Codename Verity and Rose Under Fire companion novels. It follows Julia and her first kind of mystery spy games type thing that she solves in Scotland. I love Codename Verity. I love Rose Under Fire. I can't wait. Just gonna gobble this book up. It's got all the wonderful history, all the wonderful strong female characters, and just Julia, she's got such a wonderful humorous but serious, but like strong personality. I'm so excited to read this book, guys. Okay, we're gonna escape the historical fiction and move on to another genre, which is YA. I am gonna be reading Eliza and Her Monsters by Francesca Zappia. Zappia? I don't know how to say it. It's been all over BookTube. A lot of people have been reading it. Honestly, I don't know anything about it, but booktubers I follow and I trust their opinions have loved it. This seems somehow outside what I normally would just pick up browsing on the shelves, which is one of the reasons I love BookTube, because I get exposed to books I wouldn't normally check out. So yeah, I'm gonna start this. Hope I like it. At the end of the month, I'm going to be going on vacation for 2 weeks. I'm so excited. I won't be working. I'll be able to have lots of spare time reading. And so I've designated vacation as the time to finally read these bad boys. I am so excited. For those of you who don't know, this is the A Court of Thorns and Roses series by Sarah J Maas. I haven't read any Sarah J Maas. I'm way behind the times. I don't really know the summary of this, other than the fact that it's kind of, this one, at least the first one, it's kind of, isn't it like a Beauty and the Beast retelling? I've heard good things. I've heard good things about the romance in these books as well, and I am such a sucker for good lovey-dovey times. So I'm going to be reading that series over vacation, and they're pretty thick, but I have a feeling if I like them, I'm just going to devour them and eat them like chocolate and drink them like coffee and just be done like that. Aren't we such dorks? We always, booktubers, we're like, I have vacation and I'm going to read my vacation away. Now I have to confess, this isn't my complete TBR. Donald over at Donald Loves Literature is going to be doing a middle grade readathon at some point in the month. I don't know if he's decided when it is yet. I'll need to research that. But I really want to participate in that, since middle grade is one of the genres that I'm responsible for at work, and I don't read enough of it. It's not my favorite genre, guys. So I'm looking forward to that readathon, and once I know what I'll read for that, I will post that, add it on. That's my TBR for August. I am so excited, guys. Summer programming is done for the summer, and I have more time on my hands. The dog's ready for me to be done filming. So if you have any comments, any suggestions, or anything you'd like to say, leave it down in the comments. I'd love to hear what you think. And thanks for watching. See you later, guys. And this month I'm pretty excited. The first book I'm gonna read for Lily. This isn't gonna work. This isn't gonna work. Sit. Hey, sit. Stay. Hopefully she just stays right over there. We'll see what happens.